First of all, thank you very much for purchasing a Trishaw from Gnargo, made with love here in Northwest Arkansas. We wanted to make a video and show you some tips and tricks and some safety information for how to pilot one of these. So join me and we'll go through some of that in detail. Check your pressure, look on your tire. The sidewall is going to have a printed max PSI. For a Trishaw that's carrying such heavy loads, we recommend air up to that max PSI. That makes it simple. The next thing you want to check is your spoke tension. So the way you do that is simply run your hands slowly over all of the spokes, checking for anything loose. You shouldn't feel any rattling or any strange noises. Those all need to be tight. Okay, the brakes on this, it's got a dual front brake system. So 2 front wheels are controlled by your left hand and your rear is controlled by the right. It's a hydraulic, very strong brakes. You don't need to squeeze too hard. If you're having to squeeze very hard, then we need some brake service. You should be able to do a light squeeze and have the whole bike come to a stop. You've got a lot more stopping power on the front, so your left hand favor the front. You'll be able to stop more smoothly and quickly. If you're only using the rear, you're gonna burn through brake pads a little faster. So to release the parking brake, you're gonna flip these two. The red goes into the larger, and they come back. And then the brake is free. Trishaw can roll. To engage the parking brake, you're gonna do the opposite. You're gonna pull this big paddle forward, and then you're gonna squeeze the brake until you hear at least 1 click. Up 2, and the most important thing is if there's any rolling, keep squeezing it until it's not rolling and it's clearly locked. You can check your seat posts, set it to the right height. Most of them come spec'd with a quick release. If they don't, you'll need a little Allen key to adjust that height. Check your chain. Make sure the chain is just lubed, that it's not sagging. You can get a chain wear check indicator. It's a little tool that you put on that chain to show you how stretched it is and when it needs to be replaced. One quick troubleshooting thing you can do is if you're having a chain skipping around or a little bit of clicking, there's a barrel adjuster right on the end of your shifter. And when you loosen this, it's actually going to tighten it and put a little bit more pressure on the cable that goes to the derailleur. Often just 1 or 2 clicks of this will help alleviate those chain skipping issues. So try that first. So with the Trishaw, some tips for shifting. The bike comes with a very normal shifter. You've got a larger thumb press here to make the gears easier for when you're going up a hill. And then behind it, you have an index finger lever to make the gears harder for when you're on a flatter or downhill. One thing you can do is shift down to an easy gear before you come to a stop so that you're already in that easy gear when it's time to go again. It'll just make it and start it easier for you. You also want to shift into an easier gear before you're on the steepest part of a hill. So anticipate that and shift into the easy gear as you're coming up to it. On the premium drivetrain Trishaw, you've got a little different shifting setup. In this one, you can shift anytime. You don't have to be pedaling like we recommend on a normal chain drive. You've got your shifter here, and you can shift this a little differently than the chain drive hub drive version. You can shift it anytime, whether you're pedaling or not. You can go all the way down, like if you come to a stop sign, you can go all the way down while you're sitting there. You don't have to be pedaling. So that's the big difference. Okay, let's talk about the pedal assist and the throttle. This bike comes equipped with both. You've got a pedal assist that is using a magnet wheel on your crank, and it senses when you're pedaling, and it gives power from the rear wheel based on the pedal assist level that you set. So I would recommend starting with level 1 until you get used to that power, and you can go up to level 9, so a very big range, and that's also configurable. But start with a low level and go slow. You're going to be shifting gears like a normal bike, but that pedal assist is just sensing whenever you are pedaling. So it doesn't matter how hard or how soft you're pedaling, it's just when you're pedaling. You've also got a throttle. And so your throttle here, when you twist that throttle, it's going to ignore whatever's happening with the pedals and give you maximum power right away. That can be very helpful for a stop sign or a stoplight when there's traffic and you want to get going immediately. but you need to be very careful with this because it ignores the max speed and the pedal sensing that you have, and you can go as fast as the Trishaw will allow. So it's not safe to go too fast with passengers or with heavy load, and you want to be careful with this. So helpful in some scenarios, but don't use the throttle if you can pedal. On a very steep hill, best practice is to use your low gear and the pedal sensor, pedal assist. Don't use the throttle, just keep it into an easy gear like you would on a bicycle and use that human power to assist the hub motor. You can use the pedal assist in max level, but I wouldn't recommend throttling on that. Once you throttle, it sends a kill switch to the transmission, and it's gonna say no more pedal assist, only throttle. So if you commit to that throttle, you have to stay with it. So that's why we think it's better just to stay with the pedal assist. Okay, so we're gonna power on by holding the power button until the screen comes on and says hello. So on the display, we have the battery indicator in the top right that shows percentage of battery left. You've got the speed in the middle here in miles per hour and your pedal assist number at the top. That's how much pedal assist you're going to have when you pedal. You use the plus on your controls to change that all the way up to 9. At the bottom, you've got a selection between trip, odometer, and time, and you cycle through that using the M button on your controller. You've also got this icon here that's showing caution. That is a kill switch that's automatically engaged whenever you're squeezing the brakes. So I've got the brake on right now, and so it's telling the motor that it's not going to send any power to the motor while that kill switch is engaged. You've got some other menu options here. If you double tap the M, we'll go through that in the training guide and what each of these menus does, but just wanted to show you that that's available. Display comes with an automatic light, but you can manually turn the light on and off by holding the plus till the light icon comes on and your lights will be always on. You can turn that back off by holding. Okay, when you're ready to load or unload passengers or cargo, make sure your parking brake is on and the Trishaw is not moving. You've got some rubber latches here. Some of the models have a metal pin. You're gonna remove that on both sides. And the important thing to note is when this stand comes down, we have some rollers here that act as the stand. You're gonna notice those are gonna come down and engage, and they need to be flat on the ground. So you wanna make sure you're in a smooth, flat area when you put this down, and that there's no play at all whenever passengers stand up on this. And the way you can make certain of that is that you've got those two rubber rollers making contact and your two front wheels. Those need to be in contact before you load or unload. To remove the bench, you're gonna use the 6mm Allen key. That's the larger of the loose ones that are in this toolkit. You've got a screw on each of the 4 corners. You're gonna remove that. And then with a partner, lift the bench off. To load a passenger on the Trishaw, we've pulled up to a curb in this scenario. The pilot is still on the bike with both hands on the brakes. The ramp comes down and we've got it about halfway across the curb here. There's some little bumpers underneath that'll hold it nicely in place, and there's a stand underneath that to support the weight. Make sure that it comes down and there's no movement. Once it's down, the Trishaw is steady and not moving at all before you load a passenger. Have someone else available to help assist if they need it. You definitely want to get the Q-straint things out of the way to make sure that you can get in easily, and then we'll show you helping someone use the Q-straint system. If you have a wheelchair passenger, make sure they're in all the way and apply the wheelchair brake. And then we're going to apply 4 points with the Q-straint system. This is a Q-straint attachment. It's got a quick connection, and we've got a track here on the 4 corners of the Trishaw. To attach this, you're gonna pull the quick connect out, and then you're gonna line up the holes on that track, slide it side to side until you hear a snap, and then make sure it's in place. And then to retract the actual hook, there's a retraction button here. You're gonna pull that, and that lets it move freely. Feed it through this port on the side of the Trishaw, and find a good anchor point low on the wheelchair. Once it's attached, it'll self-retract but then these side knobs will take that slack out, so you can give it a couple more turns to make it extra tight. When you're not using the key straight, you can use the adjustment lever and you can hook it to the side of the Trishaw right here and cinch it down so it doesn't rattle around. This is a good spot for it. On the rear, it's the same thing to release that. Every wheelchair is different. You want to find a good attachment point on the back corner. Q'Straint has more videos on different ways to attach. On this wheelchair, I'm going to attach to the rear axle and then pull the slack out. After you have all 4 Q'Straints attached, we're going to go back around and take out any last slack with the adjustment knobs. And then after you've completed that, if the wheelchair doesn't have a waist belt, Q'Straint supplies one that's available, and I'll show you how to connect that next. I've asked the passenger to hold on to the front, and the back end comes down and attaches onto this little blue knob on the top of the Q'Straint and clicks in. And we're going to do the same thing on both sides, and then we can cinch it tight. Once your passengers are secured, whether it's with the Q'Straint system or the lap belts on the bench, we're gonna go ahead and lift the ramp, close it with the latches, release your parking brake, and you're ready to ride. After the pilot and co-pilot have had enough fun for the day, you're going to reverse the process to release all the Q'Straints or the lap belts on the bench. And then you're going to use the latches and lower the ramp. Same type of distance from the curb. Make sure you've got really solid contact here. And then with the pilot, with both hands on the brakes, then you can unload passengers. On the hub drive version of the Trishaw, when it's time to charge the battery, the key ID is printed on the key and it matches with the lock. To remove the battery, you're going to insert that key and turn it to the unlock position. Once it's unlocked, you can slide the battery off. Okay, I brought the battery indoor and set it at my desk. I'm going to take this little desk cap off. And first, I'm going to plug in the battery, and then I'm going to plug in the power. And the charger is going to turn red when it turns green. You're charged. So unplug from power and then from the battery and close the desk port. To reinstall the battery after it's charged, you're going to set it on the cradle and slide it down. Make sure it's tight and then turn the key to the lock position and remove it. Okay, a premium drivetrain version of the Trishaw has a dual battery setup, but you only need one charger to charge both batteries at the same time. You've got a dust cap here at the bottom of the battery that pops open, and there's a charging port there. And you plug in the charger to that. And then you're gonna plug in the charger to your outlet. These can be charged outside. Once you plug it in, you'll see an indicator on your display change to indicate that it's charging. Thank you for watching this video. We just covered some of the biggest highlights and things that I think are easier to see on video, but we cover a lot more in our training and user guide that we're going to post on our website. If there's anything that's not covered in there and you have questions, just contact us. Thank you.